She thought she could control the scandal. She believed she could outsmart the whispers. But by the end of episode 5, one secret slips through her fingers, and the entire ton begins to shift. Episode 5 opens with tension hanging thick in the air. The night feels calm, but it is the kind of calm that hides danger. After the emotional chaos of the previous episode, every character is standing on fragile ground. Eyes are watching, rumors are spreading, and one wrong move could ruin everything. The Bridgerton family tries to keep up appearances, smiling at gatherings and speaking politely, but beneath those smiles there is fear. A romance that once felt safe now feels uncertain. A promise made in private now feels like a mistake. The episode quickly reminds us that love in this world is never simple. It is tied to status, reputation, and power. At the center of it all is the growing tension between two hearts that clearly want each other, but are too proud or too afraid to admit it. Their conversations are shorter now. Their glance is longer. Silence says more than words ever could. Meanwhile, the tongue senses weakness. Whispers travel faster than carriages, and Lady Whistledown's shadow hangs over every interaction. No one knows when the next issue will arrive, but everyone fears what it might reveal. Episode 5 sets the stage for emotional damage long before any real scandal explodes. The calm is not peace, it is a warning. The peace does not last long. Episode 5 quickly moves into dangerous territory as the Grand Garden Gathering becomes the center of quiet warfare. On the surface, it is a beautiful afternoon filled with music, laughter, and polite smiles. But beneath the soft colors and gentle dances, every conversation feels like a test. Every look carries meaning. The ton is not just attending a party. They are watching for weakness. Our leading couple cannot avoid each other any longer. When they finally speak, the tension is sharp but controlled. He tries to act distant, but his voice softens without him realizing it. She tries to protect her pride, yet her eyes reveal hurt. Their words are careful, but their emotions are not. A simple exchange about duty turns into something deeper. It becomes clear that both of them are struggling between what society expects and what their hearts want. Neither is ready to surrender. Meanwhile, another subplot begins to grow quietly in the background. A rival sees opportunity. A mother pushes her daughter forward. A small rumor, almost harmless at first, starts to take shape. And just when it feels like the gathering might end peacefully, Lady Whistledown's newest paper arrives. The timing is perfect, almost cruel. Conversations stop. Fans freeze midair. Smiles fade. The words printed on that page begin to pull at threads that were already fragile. Episode 5 shifts from romance to strategy in seconds. This is no longer just about love. It is about survival in a world where reputation means everything. The final moments of episode 5 are where everything truly falls apart. After the shock of Lady Whistledown's latest paper, the atmosphere turns heavy. The words printed in ink feel louder than any scream. Conversations break into whispers, and those whispers quickly turn into judgment. One name stands out more than the others, and you can see the fear settle in. Reputation in this world is fragile, and once it cracks, it rarely heals the same way. The confrontation that follows is quiet but powerful. There is no dramatic shouting, no public scene. Instead, it happens in a private corner, where truth feels more painful. He demands answers, his voice steady but filled with hurt. She tries to explain, but the damage has already been done. Trust is not broken in one loud moment. It slips away slowly, word by word. You can see it in his eyes. The doubt, the disappointment, the realization that love may not be enough to survive secrets. What makes this ending so strong is what is left unsaid. The silence between them speaks louder than any argument. When he steps back instead of stepping closer, it feels like a door closing. And when she stands alone, holding back tears, we understand that this is more than social drama. This is personal. The final shot lingers just long enough to show us the cost of one mistake. Episode 5 does not end with answers. It ends with distance, heartbreak, and the feeling that the real storm is only just beginning. Episode 5 changes the direction of the entire season. What seemed like a slow-burning romance is now standing on broken ground. The trust that once held everything together is cracked, and in the world of the ton, cracks spread fast. From this point forward, every choice will carry more weight. Every word will matter more. Love is no longer soft and exciting. It is risky. For our leading couple, the biggest question is simple: can love survive public shame? He feels betrayed not only by the secret itself, but by the silence that came with it. In his mind, honesty should have come first. For her, the fear of losing everything made her hide the truth. Now she must face the cost of that decision. If they are to find their way back to each other, one of them will have to let go of pride. And in Bridgerton, pride is often stronger than love. At the same time, power in society is shifting. The Ton now has fresh gossip to feed on, and that gives certain families an advantage. Rivals will step forward. Mothers will push harder. Engagements may form out of pressure rather than passion. And we cannot ignore Lady Whistledown's role. In all of this, the timing of the reveal feels almost planned. Was it simple coincidence? Or is someone playing a deeper game? If Whistledown continues to strike at the most emotional moments, no one is safe. Looking ahead to episode 6, expect consequences. Expect distance before reunion. Expect someone to fight for love in a way they never have before. Episode 5 was not just about scandal. It was about exposing fear. And now that fear is out in the open, the real battle begins. In the end, episode 5 reminds us that in Bridgerton, love is never just about feelings. It is about timing, trust, and the courage to be honest when everything is at risk. One secret has changed the balance, and now every heart involved must decide what matters more, pride or passion. As the Ton watches closely and Lady Whistledown sharpens her pen, the next move could mean redemption or complete ruin. The storm has arrived, and no one will escape untouched.